Hello, everybody. My name is Hell Kaiser, and welcome to one of my favorite video games of all time, Warcraft 3. This is the Reforged edition because this is the only legal way you can play this game nowadays, and also because it's the only one that will work with my recording software. It's been a while since I've done a video. A lot of personal stuff going on. Don't feel like getting into it, so let's just get into the game. Let me explain a little bit about this edition. You get a couple of things with this. If you go to the options menu, you have the classic graphics. So if it's just the classic style you like, you can play the game. It's kind of like Halo, the Master Chief Collection. You can play the game with old school graphics or with the new graphics, but you can't toggle them on the fly like you could in Halo 1 and 2. So keep that in mind. We are playing with the classic graphics for two reasons. One, this is not my best computer. Moving, everything's missing and messed up. This is just sort of a backup, and it's not strong. It seems to hitch a little bit. It plays, but it seems to have a lot of hitching when there's like severe fighting going on. I don't know if it's an optimization issue or, I guess I could turn down the graphics, but also I'm going to be honest with you. I have played the campaigns with the new graphics, and I just don't like them. How do I word this? I never played a lot of World of Warcraft. I've never been a big multiplayer guy. When I do play multiplayer, it's like competitive stuff, MOBAs, strategy games. So MMOs never really did it for me. And I've heard a lot of people say that the designs for the Reforged edition graphics were taken from the World of Warcraft game, and how the characters look in the game and stuff like that. And so, to me, I just don't like the style. I think that it looks odd. It kind of looks, to me, like a fan-made remaster or remake rather than a straight-up remake. Look at a video, I guess would be the best way, comparing the graphics, because I'm not going to show you both, because it takes forever to load the new graphics for one thing, but it really looks off to me. Maybe it's because I played Warcraft 3 so many times with the standard graphics, but the new graphics, here's the best way to describe it. Halo fans will know what I'm talking about. When they did the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, essentially the Xbox 360 remake of Halo, which you get the graphics for that on the Master Chief Collection. The designs don't look quite right. There's a lot of changes to the graphics and the style. It's a little bit brighter, so it kind of looks a little bit different art style. Like when I go back and play the Master Chief Collection, I always play with the old graphics on Halo 1. Halo 2 is a lot more faithful all the way through. I can play Halo 2 with the new graphics just fine. I prefer the old cutscenes, I guess, because of nostalgia, but it's a good game. This game, I feel like the graphics are really bad, and I've heard a lot of people say, in terms of the multiplayer, that the hitboxes are odd, and you get some sort of... Essentially, you're at a disadvantage because of some weird stylistic choices and graphical choices and gameplay. Because, like I said, the hitboxes are slightly different, which I don't know how in a strategy game hitboxes can affect people, but I've had friends that are really into it say that if you're playing with the new graphics against the person who's playing with the game on the old graphics, they are going to be at an advantage. So keep that in mind. Another thing to mention about this game before we get in is there is some content that has been changed or is missing from Warcraft 3. If we go to the campaign, it's locked. But as far as I understand, the DLCs are included. Yeah, all the because it says like classic and stuff. So you get the full game and the Frozen Throne expansion. So that's good. But some of the missions, like some of the stealth missions when you're playing in the Undead campaign, as I understand, have been modified or have been completely taken out. I'm not quite certain. This is my first time playing this edition because I still have the original version through, let's just say, cryptic means. And I mostly played the original version for many, many years. So I've never played this version, but I understand that there's changes. And when I played the human campaign, I couldn't tell any difference other than the graphics being bad. But supposedly in certain parts there's changes. Maybe my memory's off on what was different, but I didn't feel no difference. So again, playing on classic graphics, some things have changed. This game is $30 on PC. It's not available on consoles, which is kind of strange considering most strategy games are. And this game is so popular, or not this particular version, but Warcraft 3 in itself was so popular. I'm honestly surprised Blizzard did not try to get this game on consoles in some way or another. Anyway, we'll do the prologue campaign because it has some story bits, but it's really just teaching you how to play the game. If it'll load.
We never paid any heed to the ancient prophecies.
In case you're wondering, these are the old school cutscenes. I don't think they remastered the cutscenes. They originally promised there's going to be all new cutscenes in game, but as far as I can remember, these are all the original cutscenes. I don't think this one is, though. Because I don't even recall this playing when I started the game. When I hit new campaign, this didn't play, I don't think. This is slightly different.
Until the day the sky rained fire, and the new enemy came among us.
I forgot what these creatures are called, but the design looks awesome.
We stand now upon the brink of destruction. For the reign of chaos has come.
Yeah, this didn't play when I started the game the first time. So, yeah, this is a new cutscene, apparently. Yeah. So there's your first cutscene. Yeah, that's an introduction. Here's the actual cutscene from the game. This is the same one as in Warcraft 3. It's been enhanced a little bit, but it's pretty much straight up just the old cutscenes.
The sands of time have run out. Son of Duratan. The cries of war echo upon the winds.
I will say these cutscenes are still incredibly beautiful, all things considered. This game came out years and years ago when I was a kid. What year did this come out?
Which is besieged once again by conflict.
Stupid phone won't load it in for me. 2002, July of 2002. Came out July 3rd. That's only couple weeks before my birthday. I love this cutscene. It really sets up this cool image of this massive battle between the Horde and the humans.
Heroes arise to challenge fate and lead their brethren to battle. As mortal armies rush blindly towards their doom, the burning shadow comes to consume us all.
The Prophet of Doom.
You must rally the Horde and lead your people to their destiny.
I love his cane with the raven on it. Also, I gotta say, Thrall looks terrible with the new graphics. The first time I played this game and I started it up with the Reforged graphics, because like I said, I didn't get to the Horde's campaign with the new graphics. I just played the human campaign. And boy, it looks terrible. Everything just kind of has this uncanny look. I guess the best way to describe it is, to me, it feels like a mobile phone game kind of graphics. And maybe that's being too harsh. It just doesn't look right. Everything's got too much detail. And like his eyes have regular irises and stuff, instead of being like the white like they are here. He just doesn't look as good, in my opinion.
It was not a nightmare, young war chief. A vision. Follow me.
Even though the mouse on some of the characters look like they are cows chewing, I still love these graphics. The game is old now. Like I said, 2002, I think, right? Yeah, 2002. So 21 years old. And look at it. It is beautiful.
To do this, left-click on Thrall in the main window.
It still looks fantastic. The detail is great. The design, while looking a little old, I'm not going to lie. I mean, some of it's not perfect. Some textures, even in HD, don't look super great.
Excellent. You seem eager to be on your way. However,
Look
you must first
fantastic.
learn how to give orders to Thrall. Try ordering Thrall to move down the path towards the nearby banner. To do this,
I know how to play the game.
bottom right, skillfully done. However, the orc encampment is still far off. In order to reach the next banner, scroll the screen very good. The path to the next banner.
One thing I like that they should have added to this version is hitting escape pulls up the menu instead of F10. There's not much you can do to change some of the gameplay and stuff. You can put a profanity filter on and reduce violence, but not really much in terms of that. Even, see, key binding stuff are, you can customize them, but not in-game. It's kind of strange.
Notice how the black area shrinks as Thrall moves through it. This reflects areas you have explored. Select Thrall and order him to move to the banner in the middle of the encampment.
Man, I miss this game. I played it again like 2 years ago, and it still holds up amazingly.
We are yours to command, War Chief.
Now that your troops are all selected, order them to move to the next banner.
It's incredible how well this game holds up.
Prepare yourselves. I sense a knoll ahead.
And the thing is,
Order Thrall's forces to defeat this foul creature. Select all
if
of your
you'll just
troops,
quit,
click on the attack button.
let me
and
pause.
click on the knoll.
He's still talking, of course he is. What's incredible about this game is 21 years later, there's still never been a lot of games like it. If you don't know what I mean, the leader characters, or like say in Warhammer 40k Dawn of War, you got Gabriel Angelo and the Psyker guy, I can't remember his name, and stuff like that, who are kind of like important characters, leaders, separate from the group, but you can like attach them to a squad. In this game, your hero or your main character has like a level, so it's like half real-time strategy and half RPG. As they level up, you gain new abilities, and you can pick up items for your character throughout the campaign, like a ring of whatever, and equip it to that character and boost his stats. And the only other series I've ever seen do this is like Spellforce, and I never even finished Spellforce, and I hope that's the right game series. Let me... I think it's Spellforce. I was trying to Google it online and see. When I try to type it in, it's the usual RTS games that come up. Age of Empires, Warcraft. I mean, not Warcraft. StarCraft. Company of Heroes. Stuff like that. Warlords, Battlecry. That was another one. You can actually still get those games on GOG. It is sort of very similar. So, Spellforce and Battlecry are about the only other games I've ever seen with this hero system where you get to like level up your character.
For honor.
Whoa, what the heck?
This was a nice scout, but the knoll's camp lies just ahead.
Order your troops to perform an aggressive attack move into the enemy encampment. To do this, select all of your troops, click the attack button,
I know how to
and
play
then
the
left
game.
click on the ground in the middle of the knoll camp.
I know how to play the bloody game.
Good job. Notice that Thrall gained a level from the experience that he earned in combat. Only
Now I
heroes
got my
acquire
hero
experience,
ability.
allowing them to become. Whenever you click on the hero
Shut
ability,
up.
the bottom right corner of your screen changes to show what abilities can be learned. To spend Thrall's hero point and learn Chain Lightning, click on the Chain Lightning button in the bottom right corner of your screen.
Now, if it'll let me show you, some things require certain hero levels, but like, see, you gain different skills and abilities. So like I already had Farsight, which reveals an area of the map. So say here, see, I can see the map, and then Chain Lightning bounces to 4 enemies. It really is cool system. And then you have mana. This is the system that allowed Dota to become possible. If it wasn't for this game, you wouldn't have MOBAs. You wouldn't have League of Legends. You wouldn't have Dota 2. You wouldn't have Smite or anything else that kind of uses this system. Pokemon Unite. Kind of forgot that was a thing for a little bit. So this game is really one of the most important games in history.
The nearby river.
The Murlocs would make excellent targets for your new.
See, even now, these graphics are still really good. Look at the waterfalls and the Murloc enemies. Everything looks really good.
Some monsters drop treasure when they are defeated.
And see, now I got a potion.
Treasure chest contained a useful potion of mana. Notice that the potion now occupies one of Thrall's
I
inventory
know how to
slots
play
at the
your
bottom middle of
game.
your screen. Potions of mana can be used to replenish a hero's mana, the magic energies that allow the casting of spells such as Chain Lightning.
That still looks awesome. That looks like the Emperor, you know, shooting lightning.
For honor.
The wolf howl signifies that night has begun.
Be wary, my warriors. Don't let nightfall dull your senses.
Units can't see as far at night as they can during the day. You know, I never really noticed that. In all the years I played the game, I don't think I've ever read that or paid any attention, because to me, night never did much of anything.
Ogre. We'd have a fierce battle on our hands if the beast weren't sleeping. For honor.
So just sneak past him.
Yes. For honor.
Man, it feels good to be playing this game, especially in a more modern, format where I know it works and it's not like I have to
A golem.
worry
Watch
about much.
yourselves, my brethren. Those creatures do not sleep at night.
Is there really that many creatures in this game that sleep at night? You know, because I don't recall that many, you know, instances of it ever affecting most of the AI and stuff.
Yes. Double. Yes.
There's the prophet.
Look regard, O God.
Greetings, son of Giltan. I knew you found your way.
It was you I saw in vision. Who are you? How do you know me?
I know many things, young Warchief, about you and your people. My identity at this time is unimportant. What is important is that you rally your people and leave these shores immediately.
Leave.
I love how when somebody says their identity isn't important at this time, it means it's always going to be important to the plot at some point. Why not just reveal it now and get it over with?
I am something different. Know that I have seen the future and beheld the great burning shadow that is coming to consume this world. You sense it as well, don't you?
The demons are returning.
Yes, and only by leading your people across the sea to the distant lands of Kalimdor will you have a chance to stand against them.
But how can we...
I will answer all of your questions in time, young Warchief. For now, rally your warriors and prepare to leave this land. You will speak again.
You know, I know it's, as a writer myself, it's hard to
None
reveal.
of this makes sense. The spirits tell me that I should trust him.
That kind of nativity will get you in trouble, my friend. But as I was saying, as a writer myself, it's very difficult to write a story and keep it interesting and suspenseful without keeping secrets. But at the same time, I would love to see a movie or a book or something come out where the hero knows everything in the beginning, the prophet or whoever it is that's brought them to the world or whatever the story is, just comes to the chosen one and says, yeah, this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen, and here's how you need to beat it. And I would like to, you know, I guess the way you could do it is have the prophet be wrong, or have, the thing about prophecy is it sometimes doesn't have to come true. You can change fate. And so have the villain know about the prophecy too and be working on ways to change it. Kind of like God of War Ragnarok did. Odin knows what his fate is, or at least he thinks he knows. And he's spending all of his resources on trying to prevent that fate. So the heroes know what's going to happen, and he knows what's going to happen. And it's all about which one has prepared the best. So I guess it kind of has been done before, but not always to the degree I'm talking about, where like there's no secrets. There's no like, oh, I've got a secret war machine hidden in the basement kind of storyline. I'd love to see something like that because sometimes the cryptic writing as trope has become overdone.
It's been 3 days and this prophet has yet to show himself. I hope I'm not making a huge mistake by trusting him. War Chief, the clans are assembling as you ordered, but it will take them some time to reach us. Then we must prepare this camp immediately. I want my warriors to have food and proper lodgings when they arrive. Yes, War Chief. Warrior, has there been any word from Grom Hellscream? He and the Warsong clan...
But it says Gromish there.
No, War Chief. We haven't heard from Hellscream in some time. Damn it, Grom. Where the hell are you?
You know, I love how goofy this game is in some ways too. Like, I'm a fantasy writer myself. Can you shut up? There, I'll click the button for you. There. Now, as I was saying,
in order to establish a base
damn
and
it.
recruit more troops, it is necessary to collect 2 different
Gold and
kinds of
lumber.
resources, gold and lumber. To learn how to harvest gold, select a peon.
Oh, I thought. Oh, he is a
Peons can
peon.
harvest gold from gold mines, such as the one located here.
There.
Once a peon has been ordered to harvest gold, he will automatically travel back and forth between the gold mine and your closest grave.
I want to kill this narrator.
Here are a few additional...
I shouldn't have even played this, but I felt like it would have been helpful for some people to kind of understand a little bit of the plot of the game. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, you two, cut wood. You, go do this.
The upper right portion of your screen. As peons return to your Great Hall with gold, your gold stockpile increases.
We need more gold.
No, we don't.
Training
There we
unit
go.
takes
I
time.
just clicked that a little
When
too
your Great
early.
Hall is selected, you can see a progress indicator in the bottom middle portion of your screen.
Now, if I can talk for a second, I've forgotten what I was saying.
Ready to work.
That's gonna annoy me now.
In order to
I
support
legitimately
a
can't
larger
remember.
population, additional orc burrows will have to be constructed. Burrows provide the food that allows you to train more troops. To construct a burrow, select one of your peons. Now, click on the Build Structure button in the command card.
Need more money. There we go.
Notice that additional buttons are now available.
There, I got the burrow building. Now, what was I saying?
Well-placed war mills can increase the efficiency of your lumber harvesters.
Oh yeah, I
Hiring
remember.
a peon
If
to
he'll
construct a
shut
war mill
up.
where your peons are chopping wood.
Okay, now as I was trying to say, as a fantasy writer myself, you know, I try to use kind of exciting names, mythical sounding names at times. But Hellscream, I know that they're orcs and stuff, but Hellscream, is that really the best you got? It's funny though. I mean, I like his name, like Thrall, and stuff like that. That's cool sounding, and it kind of fits the character because a Thrall is a slave and kind of like a slave to destiny.
Something you're doing?
Now
Okay,
that your
there's.
burrow has been completed, the peon who built it can be assigned to a new...
I know that. I love how smooth this version of the game is too. And the original version on modern hardware, the last patch they did was like a year before Reforged came out. The game would hitch terribly. This is the smoothest I played Warcraft in a long time. And as long as I'm playing on the classic graphics, it's perfectly fine. The game still looks wonderful. It's how I'm used to playing it. You know, this is not... You know, the reason I didn't buy the Reforged edition sooner is so many people said so many bad things about the game. But so far, from the human campaign I played, like I said, I haven't played the others, I don't see what's so bad about it. You know, it seems smooth. Maybe, I know there's some stuff about the multiplayer that people didn't seem to like, but I can tolerate it.
Work complete.
Okay, now I need to build a
War mills
barracks.
contain various upgrades that can be researched to improve your troops. To see what upgrades are available, select your war mill.
Upgrade steel melee weapons and armored units.
Yes.
Now, I need to build a
We
barracks.
need more gold. Something to
How much more barracks do I need? A little bit more. Honestly, I could have another guy working the treasury here in a second. Come on. There we go.
happy to.
I'm trying to think of some stuff to say. Yeah, I'm kind of out of practice doing this. That's one of the reasons I chose this game, because it's very fun and it's a very personal game to me. The story of this game helped me as a
Research
writer.
complete.
Tried to learn new stuff and become better at writing. It kind of gave me an idea for a story that I have been working on for a long time.
Work, work. Look, regard,
And so it's a very personal game for me. It means a lot. Eventually, this gold mine will run out of gold, though, as you can see. Just as a little heads up.
I am the war chief. Work complete.
Okay, there we go. Now I can
More gold.
need to train me some grunts.
Now that your barracks is complete, you can begin training grunts to reinforce your army.
I know.
Continue producing grunts until you reach your quest requirement.
Alright.
You have just placed a rally point for your structure.
I know
Whenever
what
a
I
unit
did.
finishes training from this building, he will automatically travel to the rally point's location. To place a rally point, select one of your unit-producing structures and right-click on the ground where you want the rally point to appear.
Man, we chopped down half the forest already. Hope you guys are having a good day. Here's something we can talk about. I don't think I had the chance to do it. I did a video on music tier list. I'm going to try to get back into doing some of that soon. I'm a little out of practice, like I said. Been listening to a lot of Metallica and Megadeth and stuff. When I made the tier list, I gave Metallica's 72 Seasons an S tier rank, and I still stand by that. I think it's a fantastic album. But I've been listening to Megadeth's The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead, which I will do a Megadeth tier list soon. It's harder to do because compared to Slayer, who had like 12 albums, how many 72 Seasons is the 13th or the 14th
My life for the whole.
album? It's the 11th. So it's not even as much as I thought. So it's the 11th. Repentless was the 12th studio album. So man, Slayer retired in 2015 and they already have more albums than Metallica, who's the biggest band in the world. That kind of says something right there. Anthrax's last album was in 2016, but when was that? I mean, what was it? For All Kings. It's 11th, so the same as Metallica. Actually, that means they were one ahead of them, because Hardwired came out in 2016 too, and it was 10. But The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead is the 16th studio album by Megadeth. And you can say what you will about ones like Risk and Super Collider, but ultimately, these guys have been pumping out so much music that, and that's not even including stuff like live albums, like Live in Buenos Aires, that it's hard to make a tier list for them with that many, because what I do, I really try to do a good job. And I listen to every album before I of course I talk.
We've already captured one of your leaders. If you surrender now, we'll spare your lives.
Like, that's gonna happen, my friend.
War Chief, they say they've captured one of our leaders. Maybe they're referring to Crom. I hope not. But if they have captured Hellscream, I'll make them regret it. Loktar Ogar! Come, my warriors. We must drive the humans back.
Now, as I was saying,
Our town is under attack.
dang it, I'm losing. Oh yeah, it's hard to do Megadeth because there's so many albums, and I listen to each one. If not all the way through, I listen at least partially. But I try to do all the way through so that I can give my most honest opinion humanly possible. And
Humans have been destroyed.
Move Thrall and the rest of your force
I got
across
it.
the bridge and locate Grok.
Jesus. Okay, as I was trying to say, it's hard to listen to 16 studio albums and like a
One of your
week.
structures was damaged during the fight. To repair a damaged building, select the peon, click the repair button, and then left-click on the desired structure.
I'll guard this bridge while I'm doing that. Maybe I can talk. It's hard to focus on that many albums, remember each things off each one, take down notes, and stuff like that, especially when I'm out of practice like I have been. But I'll do them, and then I'll finally get around to doing Anthrax, which is my least favorite of the big four. And then I'd like to do other bands like Testament and Exodus and Overkill and Dark and Death Angel and stuff like that. But when the point of my story, if I can ever get to it, I'm kind of long-winded, is that the Sick, the Dying, and the Dead versus 72 Seasons. They're the recent releases by the two biggest rivals and two of the biggest bands in metal. I have to say, if I had to pick, if I could only listen to one for the rest of my life, I'd pick the Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. As a thrash album, it's a superior album. I think that Dave's voice is on point. The music is great. Kiko is a fantastic guitarist. Songs like Life in Hell, The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, Night Stalkers, We'll Be Back are fantastic songs. Overall, the only song I really didn't like at all is Junkie, and I thought that some of the references in Mission to Mars, because it was like mostly just a bunch of references to old Megadeth albums, was kind of cheesy. So I'd say that's 2 weak songs on a really fantastic album, and it's not like I'd even skip them. It's just I find them to be the weakest, But 72 Seasons, while I will say I don't think it has a single weak spot, it's one of the most structurally sound albums Metallica's put out in an extremely long time, probably since the Black Album, in terms of really being solid all the way through. Because Load and Reload had a lot of filler. Reload far more than Load. But there was a lot of filler on those albums. And Saint Anger, I liked that better than a lot of people did. But I find songs like Purify, Shoot Me Again to be extremely tedious to listen to. And then Death Magnetic it's probably the most solid of their modern releases before 72 Seasons. I still say it has better songs on it. Hardwired, I've learned to like that album a lot. I didn't like the second CD, which in my case, just the second vinyl, because I listen to vinyl more than I do CDs, more than most people. The only two songs I didn't like was Confusion and Here Comes Revenge, but they both have started to really grow on me. I really like Confusion now. I don't know why people said that the second half is weaker. But 72 Seasons, while it's really a strong album, it's kind of mid, I guess would be the word. Every song is mid-tempo. Lux Eterna is the fastest song on the album. Everything else is kind of it's too similar. It's not like anything has like a different speed or tempo. Everything is the same. And it kind of gets to this point where, you know, I feel like I'm listening to the same songs at times. I do really like some of the songs on there. Too Far Gone, Screaming Suicide, 72 Seasons, all really good tracks. I even really liked If Darkness Had a Sun, which I know some people didn't like that album as much, but I loved it.
The spirits are restless.
But when you compare it to Megadeth's album, it doesn't even really feel like a thrash album in a lot of ways. I get what the spellcaster can do.
When you control multiple spellcasters at the same time, it often becomes necessary to quickly switch between them to cast their individual spells. By using the subgroup interface, you can do so without having to try to select them individually.
None will survive.
Notice that the currently selected units are displayed in the bottom middle portion of the screen by the recording. One of the units is highlighted in yellow color. This means that it is the currently activated subgroup.
I know
You can
what
switch
it
between
does.
subgroups by pressing the tab key or left-clicking on one of the portraits that is not highlighted. This activates the subgroup and displays their spells in the command bar.
And another thing about 72 Seasons that I'll add, I find that the music, for the most part, the actual instrumental, is lacking compared to, say, other albums. Kurt doesn't have one extremely good solo in the entire album. And what I'm saying...
We found where they're holding Grom, but the area is protected by fortified guard towers.
We'll take care of
And
it.
destroy them. Hillscream must be freed.
As I was saying, the instrumentals are fine. Kirk's solos like Lux Eterna, it fits the song. It's not my favorite solo, but it fits the song. Everything works, but it could be better. You know, a better solo would sound better. A little bit of editing on some of the songs would have made them much better. Here's a good example for you. I find Crown of Barbed Wire, which I really like the song, but I feel like it's a bit too long. You could cut one of the choruses, and I think it would make the song better, because it drags.
For Doomhammer! None will survive.
And I would have done just a little bit of editing. I feel like 72 Seasons, the opening track, kind of drags a little bit. I feel like you could cut it down about 30 seconds and make it stronger, maybe even a minute. Oh, am I supposed to stand? Yeah, I'm supposed to click on that.
Ron, are you alright? I'm fine, little brother. Luckily, they only injured my pride. Great, because we're getting out of here now. We're leaving the human lands for good. Finally, follow me. I have an idea. We can set sail on the humans' own ships. But we'll need to wait for the rest of the Horde. The Horde is assembled, Warchief. We await only your command.
Perfect timing.
Now, go, young thrall. Sail west to the lands of Calamar. It is there that you will find your destiny. It is there that your people's salvation will be assured.
Anyways, I was saying, back to talking about 72 seasons. And that's the end of the prologue campaign. One thing I don't like about this, I'll try to finish that sentence about 72 seasons, is in the original Warcraft 3, you could play any campaign you wanted right off the bat. It would just give you a warning saying that there's story spoilers, and that the story might make more sense if you play this part before this part. That was all it did. In this game, see, it is purely locked out. Nothing I can do. And I don't like that. But anyway, back to talking about 72 seasons. I feel like the album could have used a little bit of editing, made it better. Better solos. I get that Kirk is kind of in this improv phase, and he likes to use the pentatonic scales, but it seems like it's just phoning it in a lot of ways. I can't really say, other than If Darkness Had a Son and Emerata, that I liked a single solo on the album. And what really holds the album together is the guitar harmonies. There's a lot of harmonizing in it, and Rob gets a ton of bass solos. I play the bass myself, and he sounds fantastic on the album. Almost every song either leads off with him on it on the first half, or every song has a section where he can be heard, or some kind of solo if it's just even brief. But he gets his time, and I appreciate that. But for me, the album just, the more I listen to it, the less the message is still good. The lyrics is what holds that album together. James's singing and lyrics are the glue that holds that album together. I think if it had been any other, just, you can change the lyrics, or just leave the lyrics the same. But if you had a different voice on that album, in the same band playing, literally all Metallica, but say James just couldn't sing no more, or they replaced him for whatever reason, he quit, and you put someone else on the front line, I think that album would have bombed. And I'm not just saying because James is the best singer in the world. I'm saying that his voice on that album sounded fantastic. His lyrics, it was like Saint Anger 2.0 with Load mixed in. Load and Saint Anger kind of lyrics with the thrashier kind of sound of the earlier albums. I call it a combination of Death Magnetic, Saint Anger, and Load and Reload, because you got kind of like the Load Reload era kind of lyrics, but kind of the more personal, kind of angry lyrics from Saint Anger, such as songs like Too Far Gone, I Am, Agitation, I Am, Desperation, stuff like that. And it kind of has that kind of feel like it's somebody who's hurt and is trying to evaluate their life or has gone through something, but at the same time it has more of a sharper edge to it than a lot of them. But I really don't think the album holds up as a thrash album. You compare it to Testament's Titans of Creation, Megadeth's Sick, Dying, and Dead, Overkill's Scorched, and it blows it away. I mean, it does. All of them blow it away, and so it just doesn't hold out as good in my personal opinion. But I still love to listen to it constantly, and it is, like I said, a back-to-front album, which I will give them credit for at least maintaining consistent quality. It just shouldn't take almost 8 years each for us to get a new album and it not be the most talked about thing of the year. I love the imagery for the town. A lot of Roman-looking architecture with like old-fashioned castles.
Attacks against the internment camps are evidence enough. Agreed. The Horde is on the move. This is absurd. My nation will not stand by and watch as the Horde masses on our very doorstep.
The orcs are not our primary concern here. How many times must I repeat myself? King Tyrannus, you must heed my warning. This plague that has gripped the Northlands could have dire ramifications.
Plague? You wizards are just being paranoid. Let's keep all this in perspective. Even if this plague does pose a threat.
I love how the story of the plague in this game and the way the king reacts to it all.
Are already prepared to place the villages under strict quarantine.
I will not institute quarantine without proof of your claims, Ambassador. The people of Lordaeron have suffered enough without becoming prisoners in their own lands.
But how is it hard to prove a plague? Send a knight to go inspect some of the people and that would be pretty straightforward.
Yet prisoners they are, good king.
What is the meaning of this? Who are you?
Humanity is in peril. The tides of darkness have come again, and the whole world is poised upon the brink of war.
Enough of this. Guards, remove this bandit.
Hear me. The only hope for your people is to travel west, to the forgotten lands of Kalimdor.
Travel west. Are you mad?
Old Ambassador. I don't know who you are or what you believe, but this is not the time for...
Did he really think that that would work, just flying into the king's chamber
But it shall be we who decide
and
how best
giving a cryptic warning?
Not you. Now, be gone.
That was kind of a stupid plan.
Failed humanity once before, and I will not do so again. If you cannot take up this cup, I shall find another who will.
Well, what did he think? It was going to work out the same way it did with Thrall? He was too naive. He just said, okay, I'll travel for you. I mean, realistically, not many people are going to get up and pack up at the warning. But at the same time, this king is a bit too lax in a lot of ways. He's like, okay, we got a plague up north. We're not going to do nothing about it. We're getting warnings of some sort of darkness encroaching. We're not going to do nothing about that.
Welcome, Prince Arthur.
Uther.
The men and I are honored by your presence.
Can the formalities, Uther. I'm not king yet. It's good to see you.
You too, lad. I'm pleased that King Tyrannus sent you to help me.
Father still hopes your patience and experience might rub off on him.
It is a father's right to dream, isn't it?
Look, here's where we stand. Our scouts have confirmed that there is an orc encampment hidden somewhere over the next ridge.
As I suspected.
It gets worse. They're preparing to attack the nearby village of Strongbrand.
I love how the village ladies and the old graphics are all very busty and wearing a lot of cleavage showing blouses. And in the new game, they're a bit, in the new graphics, they're a little bit more covered up. It really shows how
Meet me at the orc camp. Once you
games have gotten to be a lot more censored nowadays than they used to be. I wish they'd leave it alone. Like, even in Diablo 2's remake, I wouldn't say it's so much censorship, but the Amazon looked kind of like Wonder Woman and Artemis, if you remember her character, like from Red Hood and the Outlaws. Kind of a combination of those two characters. You know, the Wonder Woman leotard kind of thing with her legs showing, and the bracers. You know, attractive looking face. Now she looks older and more rugged, and she's like wearing knee-high bracers or shin guards. I don't know all the exact terms,
Of
but
course.
looks very different, and I don't like the changes.
A sound
And if I'm not mistaken, now I might be wrong on this one.
Bandits are stealing our belongings.
We'll take their coin just like everyone else's.
We can help it.
Those bandits stole my ledger. Without it, I will lose my entire farm.
We'll save you.
Please, retrieve it from their camp. It would mean so much to us.
I'm following them. Now I lost what I was saying again.
Say your prayers.
There we go. I'm losing men. I lost a soldier. I should have healed him. I wasn't paying much attention. There's a lot of these bastards. Come on, hold out, Arthas. Crap.
Our hero has fallen.
That didn't go well. Can I skip? Yes. Okay, that didn't go well. Forget that happened. Let's just erase that from the memory banks.
Of course. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan.
Help! Bandits are stealing our belongings.
We'll take their coin just like everyone else's.
No running away this time.
Of course.
I guess they are going to run away.
Bandits stole my ledger. Without it, I will lose my.
We'll follow after him. I don't think this is a good idea. I hope it doesn't get us killed again. Maybe if I
So much to us.
heal my soldiers, everything will be fine. Okay, this group's kind of staying behind to fight us, so maybe if we fight them off first, I don't have to deal with so many at once. I love this game. It still plays so great.
A sound plan.
Say your prayers.
There we go. Keep our units healed up.
A sound.
Although I'm running out of mana fast. Come on. There we go. Worked out well that time for us. Ledger, boring facts and figures.
For honor.
I love real-time strategy games. I need to play some more on the channel at some point. It's kind of a boring game to record. And like the ones I like Warhammer 40k, Dawn of War, have never got like native resolution support and stuff.
A sound plan.
What did he give me? Okay, I can learn Divine Shield or Devotion Aura. I'll get the Devotion Aura, because that's a passive effect that just
Certainly.
helps out everybody near me. Where did I get the Tome of Strength? I don't have
For
it.
honor.
Or did it like level me up?
Is there danger?
Now my soldiers should be more reinforced. We gotta stop here in a minute.
He's escaping!
But we'll fight these orcs first.
The attack has already begun.
To arms, my brothers!
I don't know why the game's kind of zooming in and out on its own. I wish Arthas could heal himself. It'd make combat much easier. Because it's hard to protect him when he becomes the focus of the fight. At least he does regenerate pretty quickly.
A sound plan. For honor.
Graveyard.
Certainly. Of course.
Let's clear the town, then I'm going to end the video for now.
Feel my wrath. Justice has come.
At least he's not hitting me. That's 2 of them taken down.
For honor. Of course.
Does that say Bob's Guns? Oh yeah. They are riflemen and stuff, but it's not like... When I think of a gun shop, I think of modern guns. Gotta heal up this unit. I love having hero abilities. I wish more... I know that it'd be just straight up copying this game, and I know that for some reason it's strange to copy Warcraft. I don't know why. When get so many games steal stuff from other games, like look how many times Battle Royales have been done. But why not have the hero system? Okay, unfortunately, we will have to do this tomorrow, or the next time I play this game, in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry I kind of rambled a little bit and lost track of everything that I wanted to say. But I really do enjoy playing this game, and I'm glad to play it for you guys. I hope you guys will enjoy it too. Like I said, you can get this game on Battle.net, Blizzard, you know, on PC, their launcher for their games. For $30, there's like a $49 version, so like a $50 version that includes bonuses for World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and a couple other things if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and have a fantastic rest of your evening.